Start celebrating. Come forward, your seats are awaiting. No, that does not happen every Sunday. Good morning. I am Justin Thomas Arbuthnot. Let me say it one more time. Good morning.
Good morning.
I need to pause and let you respond. I am Justin Arbuthnot, and I'm here to welcome you to the Center for Spiritual Living, Tacoma, both for those in person today and for those who are online. I read this morning's affirmation. I am aware of my vibrational energy and can shift it with conscious compassion, connection, and joy. Secondly, when I walked in and saw the tables and the stage, my inner Liza Minnelli just had to come out. But not to be outdone, our musicians today are Bienvenido Yangco, who just performed, on the clarinet, and Coni Liljengren on piano, and Pete Beresford on percussion. Applause. Our audio-visual team is Erik, Perrohe, Ronald and Max Ebersole. Our practitioners today are Suzanne Frazier on the platform, and Laura Lee Bentel, actually she's going to be right there, and Laura Lee Bentel holding High Watch and Consciousness online. Our speaker today, we also want to acknowledge our greeters, Susie and Patrice. They're the ones who are the big smiles in the back door as you walk in. And then we also like to thank Kathy, who you may see in and out, who is actually preparing and holding our coffee service for today. And our speaker is Reverend Drew Ebersole, Senior Minister. I want to tell you a little bit about the Center for Spiritual Living, Tacoma. We are an inclusive, welcoming, and heart-centered community. If you're new today and are comfortable raising your hand, please do so that we may welcome you. Welcome. Let's take a moment to remember who we are and what we believe. The Center for Spiritual Living Tacoma is a peaceful, loving, and joyful spiritual community with a shared set of values, principles, and practices. We embody an understanding of our oneness with Source. We are committed to individual transformation and to being a beneficial presence on the planet. Our vision is to create a world that works for everyone. We help to empower you and bring your dreams to life, and we do this together through practicing meditation and prayer, offering a spiritual home, teaching universal spiritual truths, giving consciously, living in the present moment, engaging in a life of service, and providing a pathway of peace of mind. We have a few announcements to make for the upcoming. Lean into this life's transition, an art and yoga workshop this Saturday, November 2nd, from 10 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. here at the Center for Spiritual Living, Tacoma. We have flyers in the back. You can also go online on Facebook or Instagram and register there. Our monthly potluck happens the first Sunday of every month. The next one is Sunday, November 3rd, right after service. Bring the food that you enjoy that represents the fall color of your choice. Lastly, Hope for the Holidays on Saturday, November 9th from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. here at the Center for Spiritual Living. This is a grief-based workshop, and hopefully there won't be much to grieve after the elections. But seriously, it's for more than just the grief of loss. It's for many things in your life where grief may be present. Practitioners will be in the prayer room in the back after service, holding a prayer circle, and please join them if you have any need for prayer. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's hear it for Justin again. Did so good with the cabaret. That was so fun. I think, Sharon, did you want to say a couple words about the grief workshop coming up? Linda, do you want to come up and talk about it for a minute? Because it just gives you more of an idea of the depth of what it is. So join us. Linda's a great, wonderful practitioner in this whole concept of handling grief. She's done it for a long time. She's going to tell you a few words about the workshop. Coming up here, if you can, Linda. So that online they can hear you. Thank you.
Sure. Good morning. So November 9th, we'll start off with Cynthia Zink, and she's a practitioner, Renton? Genesis. And up in Burien. And she's been with us in person and also through Zoom classes with some instructions. So some of us are familiar with her already. And she's going to start off with addressing loss that's specific to death and specific to the holidays coming up, because November, December, January are really tough times for people. So that will be the first part. And then after that, I'm going to do the suitcase. And I've had a very long career as a medical social worker with a little detour as a chaplain at a county jail, but that's another story. So I've just taken some of those experiences and put it into a one-person show, a dramatization of a person with a very overfilled emotional suitcase. And in the beginning, you think, you can handle this. And then there's all of the ways you try to get rid of it in an unhealthy way. And then there are all the diversions, so you just don't even have to think about it. And then eventually, okay, if we have to, we'll unpack it. And it gets very loud and very messy, very sad, just like the real thing. And eventually, it's hopeful, just like the real thing. So, I was talking to Jack about this and saying it's not just about death, and he said so succinctly, Jack said, there are many things we grieve. And that's exactly what the suitcase is. So if you are in grief, if you have grief from the past that still's popping up, if you're trying to help somebody who is in grief, if you're just trying to understand somebody who's in grief, this might be a good afternoon. We will have also some more lecture parts of it. We'll have open discussion. And then at the end, Cynthia and I will both be around if anyone wants to talk about specific things that maybe they don't want to share in the bigger group. Okay? November 9th, we start at 1 o'clock. Thanks.
Thank you. It's also a great way to find community, and that's what we're all doing here, is building community. That's a connection, so it's a great opportunity to connect. So how do you like our spiritual cafe this morning? Who votes for we should keep it set up this way all year round, right? Who was at Joyful Noise last night and or Friday? How about it? It was amazing. And I want to say this place was vibrating at an extraordinary level, and I think I'm still vibrating. And that's why I have to give the talk on good vibrations today, so we're going to talk about that. I also just want to thank all the people that put that together and put all the effort into it and the time. This is an extraordinary volunteer community. I've never seen volunteers step up, step in, and absolutely bring things to life like in this place. You're all just amazing. And because of it, we're forming something extraordinary. So I'm going to take a second and read the gratitudes that Ty gratefully put in all of our programs. They're in there. If you want to fill one out, please do so. I read them every Sunday. And these are some good ones. A good night's sleep, fall foliage, and opportunities to surrender to life. Good health, reviewing mindful love, myself, and new beginnings. My baby boy coming home next month. The good people at CSL. For my wife, Sherry, sees the sunshine on those dark October rainy mornings. All that is the power of the present moment, meditation, gratitude, and affirmative prayer, the music at CSL. For my daughter's wedding and growing by one in my son-in-law. That's sweet. A joyful noise. Let's all raise a joyful noise. Everybody say, woo! That's what I'm talking about. All right, we have this afternoon. Do it again. My wonderful travel partner, my health and solid knees. I give gratitude for that, yeah. The cool winds of fall. The joyful noise of this place that introduced my life through conscious living. A pregnancy after trying for 20 months. A new job, a wonderful sister, new breathwork clients, and the people in this spiritual community. Probably the thing I'm most grateful for in my life is this center. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Beautiful. And now we have more good vibrations from more wonderful music.
For those of you who feel like dancing the tango, you could.
Okay, talk about a tough act to follow. Didn't that make you want to do castanets? Castanets? Okay, calm down. Exactly. Exactly. That's right. So just stay in this joyful spot. That joyful spot is exactly where God is. It's exactly where Spirit resides. Joyfully within us. And we are grateful. Aren't we grateful for this place? Aren't we grateful for each other? Aren't we grateful for the fact that we feel the Spirit here? We know Spirit exists. We know it all the time. Doesn't matter if you're in the grocery store, washing a little kid's face, feeding your dog. Spirit is always there. But when we come here, it's magnified because we love each other. I know you can feel that. I know that. I see it in you. I see it in you. Even sad times, even when things are dark or difficult, I see it in you when I come here. I feel it in you. It feeds me. So I know it feeds you. God is exactly where we are at all times. And that's the beauty of it, is that we can use it like that. It's just this wonderful, wonderful tool. Spirit is ours, present in our lives to use, to our benefit, but also to the benefit of all the people we know, the people we love, the people we care about. A joyful noise. We fairly sizzle with it. And I honor that in you. I honor that in each one of you. Because we do give here. We give extraordinary amounts of love and time and tithe and treasure. And the wonderful payoff is that we get to come back here and have a joyful noise, to enjoy each other's company in this kind of a setting, a cocktail setting, a party setting. We get to celebrate that. And I know none of us ever take it for granted. There's always somebody here to touch you. There is always somebody here to encourage you. There's always somebody here to comfort you. There is always somebody here to celebrate with you. That's simply the truth. And in each action like that, Spirit moves in, through, and around us. We make Spirit manifest in how we behave. Our words, our actions, our behaviors make Spirit manifest, make Spirit enter the world, makes it come to truth. And I'm grateful. I'm so grateful. And I thank God for this time together. And so I just let it go knowing it's true. It's all true and it's all done. And I say thank you. Thank you, sweet Spirit. And so it is. And I, of course, forgot to do the readings in the beginning. It's never too late, right? Okay. So they are. Your energy introduces you before you even speak. Thank you, Benny. Thank you. That's Marie for Leo. Good vibes create a magnetic field that attracts abundance. Embrace positivity, and abundance will find you. Joe Vitale from the Key.
Probably understand what it is in Italian, but I'll explain it later if you don't.
Wow. Bless you, you three. That was awesome. Take a second right now. Just put your hand on your heart and feel how you are vibrating right now. That's real. That's the essence of all of us. And you help to raise that vibration so that we can all live there together. Beautiful. Today we're going to be talking about good vibrations. Now it's titled Good Vibrations Only because really when you're in love and acting from love, you only have good vibrations. And that's what we're going to consciously be creating and knowing today. I'm going to read a little something for you. Just think about this for a moment before we begin. The origin of life is vibration. Before matter existed, the universe was only vibration, energy as sound vibration. Matter is only vibrating atoms and molecules. We are literally walking vibrations. We are sound incarnate. We are walking sound. Matter is made of energy and vibration. The more physicists look into it, the more that solidity dissolves into energy and vibration. Meaning the deeper they look, there's not matter there. There's just energy fluctuating and moving at certain paces, rhythms, vibrational levels that create a frequency that becomes us walking. We are vibrations. String theory describes energy and matter as being composed of tiny, wriggling strands of energy that look like strings. And the pitch of a string's vibration determines the nature of its effect. That is why we consciously work with the energy we're creating. You heard the quote that said, the energy I bring forward meets people before I even speak. We feel when someone is listening. We feel when someone's in tune. We feel when someone's in love with us. We feel when someone cares or is listening. And we also feel when they can't or don't. The secret is that there's no such thing in our awareness of pure evil. There is only separation and a sense of fear. And the fear manifests as a vibration that expresses itself as hate or anger. And that causes us to clench or pull down or react and feel bad because the vibrations there are not very high. They're not very in tune with the creation of the universe itself. The universe was created from compassion and love. That's why when we feel compassion and love, we vibrate so beautifully with it. And we feel so happy and so at peace. And when we sense the others around us, when we have anger or hate or dissonance, it feels yucky. It feels sick. It feels tired. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to run away or avoid it. You learn to meet it with a sense of a good vibration there, because tuning forks that are at different vibrations, the louder tuning fork will actually cause the other fork to meet its vibration. It'll work with it. So that is the good news, meaning that if you feel the hate or anger, if you're stronger in compassion, if you're more fierce in the love, if you're kinder, you can actually shift that vibration where you are. And the vibration doesn't always have to look like happiness. I mean, last night we had a ton of joy. We were celebrating and dancing and flying around, and Justin did cabaret, and we all felt it. He was like, oh, cabaret! We heard the music this morning. All those are vibrational energies. But compassion is also a vibration. With the grief, what we're going to be coming up with Linda and Cynthia Zing, what's wonderful about that is that's a good vibration. That kind of connection, that kind of caring, that kind of love unites us. So listening and caring and being connected in good vibrations, that's what creates the strength and the power around us. I mean, you look at, I say a lot, my heroes, right? Aside from my wife and my child, they're my heroes. Which they also do this too, but in the bigger world, when you look at Gandhi, you look at Martin Luther King, and you look at Mother Teresa, and you look at Jane Goodall, and you look at Cesar Chavez, and you look at all kinds of amazing people, they held true to a vibrational frequency that is so deeply embedded in creation itself that they could not be shaken from its foundations. They embodied it. And no matter what small the vibrations of fear or dissonance they felt, they would just tune themselves to that vibration and stay right through it. And if others were listening and could, they'd come to that vibration. That's why they attracted so many people. That's why they caused movements. Jesus Christ himself was vibrating at that frequency. Muhammad, many of our wonderful teachers and people today who are masters, they all have that level of vibration that is unparalleled. So, how do we do this? What do we think about it? Well, we know that it's an intelligent energy. It's not just the sounds we make, it's the thoughts we think. How I think, how I speak creates a vibration around me. With every time I connect with someone, last night we were all loving each other and touching each other and high-fiving and dancing together. And what that did was that created a vibrational energy in the room, in us, that resonated through everything. It resonates today. Stop and take a deep breath. Just feel the resonance of the vibrations of love in this building right now. Just look around you and see Love in vibration, in action, in every face. We can feel it, right? You can sense it's real, and it's there. In a minute, I'm going to have Ronald bring up the video, and I'm going to show you a cool demonstration of this in our physical format. Before we do, I also want to talk about Dr. Emoto's experiments. We've shared with him before. Many of you know Dr. Emoto. Have you heard of his work? So he did a field of study that took water from different origins, and some of it was from the Tokyo dams and other areas, and he looked at the crystal makeup of that water, and when he sliced it and looked at the crystals, they were kind of malformed, and they didn't have shape to them, and they were kind of disfigured. When he had people consciously, with that same water, put thought into it of gratitude, thank you, gratitude, and he froze it and sliced it again, the crystals were like beautiful snowflakes. They had changed on a molecular level. You are changing on a molecular level by being here today, by opening up your minds and your hearts, by embracing those around you, by being compassionate. You are changing the way you vibrate, and that in turn changes our world. So, Ronald, are we ready to roll the video? Do we have it up? I think. I want you to watch this and watch how these plates of energy with vibrations actually show us what happens. Let's take a look. What you're seeing here is the way the universe was created. What you're witnessing is that the vibrations rose, the complexity changed. You are an intricate web of complex vibrational energy. And when you shift it, you can change everything. Your heart and mind can heal, can be at one, can be at peace. When we vibrate like that, as the frequencies rose, as our rises, we become more connected, more entangled, more aware of our oneness that Susan talked about. That's everywhere all the time. You're just conscious of it. Become conscious of it. So how do we do this? You know, ancient practices that talked about using Aum. That sound, they call that the sound of creation itself, that you're connecting with it. Aum is the way that it was formed, right? That we became these incarnate walking vibrations. Think of the way you're hearing music. Think of the way you're connecting with each other. Think of the way you're thinking about yourself. If you don't think you have a vibrational energy in the way you look in the mirror and either criticize yourself or say you love yourself, think again. That has a huge impact on you. When I look in the mirror and I can truly say with unconditional love, I see you, I love you, thank you for being alive today, go do your best. Go do your best. That changes my vibrational energy. If someone, I told this at meditation, but I just want to share it with you, how you can shift it and responsibly become different. And I shared that I was driving down the street and I was talking to my cousin Brian on the telephone. And I shared this again, but I want to share it with you all too. And as I was talking on the phone, I was pulling through a street and there was a stop sign over here. And somebody blew through that stop sign and missed T-boning me by just a meter. Just, in that moment, I started to laugh. In that moment, I burst out into laughter and relief. I was like, oh my golly, I'm still alive. That was so close. Holy smoke. I said, I can't believe it. I said, I'm awake now. I don't need coffee. I'm awake now. And I laughed and laughed out loud and had a belly laugh about it. And my cousin Brian said to me, are you aware of how you just responded or reacted to that situation? Not fear, anger, or dissonance, or blame, or hate. Because I don't know what that person was going through. If they saw me, maybe they were in an emergency. I don't know. It's not mine to judge. I don't care. All I care is that I'm alive and it was okay. And what happened was my vibration rose and I felt good. Having just almost been in an accident, I felt good. And then Brian had an awareness to see it in me, so he was mindful. And then I complimented him back for being mindful, and our vibrations rose even more. It was like a tennis match. It was like, yeah, okay, here we go. Volley. So think about it. If you can change the way you start to respond to things every day, you can change the way you start to vibrate differently. If you get out of a habit of complaining or worrying about something or attaching to the negative, you don't see it. Let it go. Embrace it. Learn to forgive. Learn to care. Learn to love. You change your vibrational energy. You know, I looked at several movies because I'm an actor, and part of what I saw was in movies how they would shift vibrations. Does anyone remember Shawshank Redemption? Oh, yeah. Okay. So in the end of Shawshank Redemption, he's freeing himself from prison. And he has this beautiful, simple monologue. He says, I hope to see my friend. I hope the ocean is as blue as it is in my dreams. I hope. And you can feel, see how you feel right now? You're shifting vibrations. How many guys in here have watched Field of Dreams? And women. And anybody that's non-binary. We can be here together in it. How about in the end, when he's on that field, after having had an irreparable relationship with his father, he has a moment to say, you want to have a game of catch? He says, yeah, I love that. How do you feel when you hear those things? How do we feel in humor when we have a chance to connect with people? You know, I heard a pretty simple joke the other day, and I'll tell it to you. There was an older gentleman standing with his wife, and he was looking in the mirror, and he says, when I look in the mirror, all I see is a fat, wrinkly, old man. He says to her, would you please pay me a compliment? I need it right now. She looks at him and she says, your eyesight's perfect. No, that didn't happen with us. I just want to be clear. Although my wife has that kind of sense of humor. Now, that's funny, but look at your vibration just from that laughter. That simple joke. That simple, self-effacing, lovely way of allowing ourselves to not take ourselves too seriously, to laugh. That laughter matters. Listening to people is such a deep way of shifting their vibration, holding space for them to expand. I remember being in coaching, and my partner said this, we have so many clients that on the first session, they just blurt out everything because it's a trusting, loving, safe situation, and they just fall apart and they share it all. And at the end, they're just this wonderful puddle of pure emotion, and they smile and say, it feels so good to have someone listen to me, just listen to me. And we say, that's what we're here for. Shifting vibrations. You're going to think today, when you come out of here, how am I vibrating? How am I loving? How am I being? How can I shift that? How can I move it? How can I transform it all the time? I want you to do a little exercise right now. At the little table you're at, I want you to just take 2 minutes, and I want you to go around and share one wonderful, amazing thing that's happened to you. I don't care if it's small or big or whatever. Just share a good awareness of something beautiful that's happened to you in your life, whatever it is. So let's just take 2 minutes. I'll call us back and share them at your table. I have an amazing thing. All right, let's get ready to come back. Let's get ready to come back. Let's come back. Come back, come back, come back. Come back, come back, come back, come back, come back. Come on back, come on back. Well, we could talk all morning about this, and I want you to continue the dialogues after today, okay? You can say, this is the Spiritual Cafe. Come hang out, have a coffee. Take a deep breath right now. How do you feel? You elevated your vibrations. See how simple it is? See how clean it is? See how pure it is with all that we do? You change the way you think and feel. You change the very molecular structure of your body. All the way down. You're different because of that.
Look at the faces, Drew.
and look at the faces. Look at your faces. That's exactly right. You know, this way of connecting with each other and sharing something can be so powerful. And it can shift us out of vibrations that are not as helpful to us. I remember being at Multicare, and I was working as a director of patient experience there for a while. And part of my job was to really pay attention and see how patients were healing. And there's a lot of science to indicate that if people feel loved and cared for, they heal exponentially faster. They just have healing going on because somebody loves them and listens to them, cares for them. And I walked into rooms and held hands and just loved people. And you could watch them just change on a foundational level. One of the most interesting examples I had was actually not in a hospital room, it was in the cafeteria. I was in there and I was buying a cup of coffee, and a woman came up to me behind me in line with sandwich and chips, and she was just rubbing her back. Oh. And I said, how's it going with you today? And she goes, I'm in awful pain. Awful pain. I just can't get rid of my back pain, and it's debilitating. First, I used compassion. I said, oof, I can imagine that must be difficult. She said, it is difficult. And suddenly, she started to change a little bit. And then I talked to her some more. I said, who are you going to see while you're here? And she says, I'm going to see Dr. Johnson. I said, I know Dr. Johnson. They're great. They're going to take excellent care of you and give you their very best medicine to help you heal. She goes, that is wonderful to hear. And then she's like, how long have you worked here? And I said, a couple of years, and I've been enjoying it. And I said, where are you from? And she says, somewhere nearby. I said, what's something in your life you feel good about right now? And she goes, I'm really lucky to have my granddaughter at home with me. It's such a blessing to see her. I missed her for the first couple of years, but they moved back home, and she's here. Now we're talking, we're sharing. And I come up to line, and I quietly say to the cashier, I'd like to buy her chips and sandwich for her. And she rings it up for me. And the woman steps through, and the cashier says, oh, he paid for it for you. And she looks at me, and she's like, and she starts sobbing. And I just hugged her a little bit, and she goes, you don't know what that means to me. That means the world to me. Somehow I believe I can maybe heal. And I said, it was really just chips and a sandwich. And then, people in the back of the line are looking at us like, what are you guys serving up there? What is this? Can I get one? Is that a double latte? What's happening here? And I hugged her, and I wished her well, and I turned to leave, and I waved at her one more time, and she waved at me, and it struck me. What was she no longer conscious of in that moment? What was she completely conscious of in that moment? Her joy, her love. So that was shifting a vibration at a deep level, right? And that's what you can do too. One more quick exercise at your table. I want you to find something to compliment about the other person and notice them for whatever it is. Could be anything. Just take a second and compliment them and just say something good about them. Let's come back. Let's come back. Come back. Again, you don't have to look at this as the end of this exercise. You can continue on all day long, man. This is your power. All right, take a deep breath in again. Wow. Are we just raising the vibration? I mean, I'm just like buzzing here. Right? Look at how you're feeling. Look at what we're doing. Nothing objectively changed. You changed. You changed that vibration, and you're affecting the world that way. One more little story about this that was so significant and reminded us of these small but mighty acts. There was a young woman that was giving a TED Talk, and she described how when she was a teenager, she felt very isolated and alone. She felt like no one cared. And she got more and more depressed and more anxious. And she started to sit in the back of the classroom, and she felt like she was disappearing. And then one day, a guy walked into her class and was describing his schedule. Oh, I'm in this class, I'm in that class, I'm in this class, out loud. Just describing it. And she started to murmur to herself, well, I have that class. I'm in that class too. And the guy looked at her and heard her and came right over and said, you're in physics too? And she says, yeah. He goes, I'm in physics. He said, I'm going to look for you there, and we're going to sit together, and we're going to learn physics. What do you say? And he high-fived her. And she was stunned. She wasn't invisible. And she went to physics, and he did just that. He sat with her. And the two of them became best friends. And she said, that single act saved her life. Saved her life. That she was contemplating suicide. And the fact that one person came over and saw her, it shifted her vibration utterly, fundamentally. And she went on to do these wonderful TED Talks and this amazing work with teenagers across the country who feel abandoned or isolated or alone. And she says her life is beautiful and has purpose and meaning. And when she told her friend that story, he didn't really even remember it. He's like, I did? And she's like, you did. Think about a way you can change a life with a listening ear, a kind word, a compassionate heart, a generous spirit. That is how we change our universe together. That's how you raise your vibrations to a frequency that is unknown to mankind. And that is how we can create a world that thrives in pure harmony together. Be a warrior for good vibrations and change the world. Bless you.
All right, well, let me just say a few words about this music. Are you familiar with the title? America. Oh, okay. I'm glad everyone is familiar with it. The person who wrote this was an Italian clarinetist. His name is Angel Gualdi. That is his picture. It's a little bit kind of shady in the lower part, but he's a good guy. And he was born in San Martino in Rio, in Italy. He was born in 1924 and passed away in 2005. 3 weeks after he gave he had a concert. So he was a very influential jazz clarinetist, and he met Benny Goodman in 1981 as well. But I was so touched when I saw this piece. This piece is not even written yet. His music is still in the library in the San Martino in Rio. And I've written them for about 2 months to get the score of this. So what I did is I took this, the music from the YouTube, parts of it, and I took pictures of it, and I had it arranged by my friend Dimitri Varelas from Uzbekistan. But I was so touched that many people outside of this country love this country. And so I would like to play this for you.
So, one more word, I'll have our greeters come forward, and as I do, just remember the vibration you exist in is what creates and attracts those things you want. So prayer and working consciously with prayer with our practitioners, that's a way to allow your vibrational energy to increase and to attract in what you want. So we'll come forward. And if everyone can take their vibrational blessings in their hands, and knowing it's creating good vibrations in the world, we say our wonderful offertory prayer together. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. With infinite gratitude, so it is. Bravo, bravo. Well done. Breathe in gratitude. Breathe in abundance. And we offer thanks for these blessings.
Wow, this has been wonderful this morning. Thanks, Pete. Glad you were here. So now if you choose to close your eyes and go to that place where Spirit truly dwells within, and we take in everything, or bits of things, parts of things, and know that that is God at work. God gives us these things. God directs us to these things. It's no accident we're here. I'll bet there are some Sunday mornings where you think, I'm just going to turn over and go back to sleep. But you come here. You come here for community. You come here for healing. You come here to offer healing. We're all healers. We're all healers. And I'm grateful for each one of you here today. I'm grateful for the fact that Spirit directed our feet this way. I'm grateful for Benny and Cindy and our guy Pete. I'm grateful for Patrice and Susie and Kathy. I'm grateful for Laura Lee in Mesa, Arizona. I'm grateful for Drew. But I'm not any more grateful for any of those folks than I am for each one of you, because that's what makes us a real deal. We make it a real deal by coming here. And when we leave here, we take this wonderful message, this wonderful energy out into the community to share it. And I am eternally grateful for that. And so I just say thank you, sweet Spirit. And so it is. Go vote.
Let us raise up our vibrations and sing I release and let go.